Howdy-ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals. Thank you for joining me today here in the craft room. It's always nice to have friends to craft with. Now today, we're going to do something a little different than what we normally do. And I'm trying to get things situated here so I can show you. I want to make, hold on here, let me get a hold of it here. I want to make an altered book that's an ephemera holder, because as you can see, mine has gotten a little chubby. Yeah, she's a chubby girl. And I kind of want to sort things out. Now, I've already got a couple of pockets cut, and I'm going to be picking up some more vellum. But this one's going to be a hybrid. I'm actually going to use a hardcover book like this. And let me stand up here and make sure my phone is not womp-a-doodled. There we go, because I think I bumped it. I added another light to my table because I wanted to make sure you guys could see exactly what I'm doing. Now, I'm just going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to sew all this in, and I know you guys have seen me do that, but this cover needs a little bit of repair, and I'm going to show you where it needs it. It needs it right here. Can you see that? Because when I took out, when I gutted the book, I cut through it. But that's all right. I can take care of that. When I reinforce this, and I'm gonna cover the inside. And I've watched, I don't know how many videos on altered books and on ephemera holders. Oh my gosh, you guys. Over the last 2 weeks, I think I have watched every major creative on YouTube make an altered book. All the way from Gail Agostinelli, all the way, I don't even know anyone that starts with a Z. But everybody in between I've watched to get their take on it and see how they do it. And surprisingly, the majority of them do it the same. There were a few in between that do it a little different and had some different ideas on it. So I took those, and then I watched, you know, how everybody made ephemera holders to kind of get an idea on how they did that. And I liked the way Gail made her ephemera holder because she had pockets and flips and flip outs. Oh, I love those flip outs. And I will link Gail's ephemera holder in the description for you so you can see how she does it. Now hers is just made with cardstock. Hers is not made with a book cover or book pages. Hers is just made with cardstock. So if you want to make one like Gail's, you know, feel free to do so. But I wanted to make one that was hard, a hardcover, and I'll probably make a couple. So I'll make another one that's made with cardstock. They really don't get beat up a lot. So, you know, you could go either way with them. But I wanted one that was hard covered, and I had this old book that was, you know, that was slit, and I thought that's the perfect thing to do with that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to choose I want to choose some paper. Now this is 12 by 12. That's kind of neutral, that I can use for backgrounds of my first pages. Like, you know, like that's too bright. Now that's not bad. And that kind of goes with the blue. I might use that. I'm going to put my ruler there. I might use that one. I really liked the way that she made it. And of course, mine's going to have, you know, my spin on it. And I kind of like that one too. I'm actually going to... No, I don't want to use that one. That's got too much on it. I'll lose, like in this one here, my pages are just white on the back. I just took mixed media paper and I just splattered them with watercolor. And it's got painted bits in it. I mean, my pockets are shoved full. It's just got painted bits in it. And this one all is painted bits. And then I started adding things that I cut out. You know, just little cutouts. And then my sewn strips. And these are just strips of watercolor paper. And then this is my extra stuff. And it just started getting bigger and fatter and fatter and fatter. That I didn't have room to put. These are all my painted bits. I just want this book to have only painted bits and bops. Like these are houses, you know, ice cream cones, you know, things like that. And they're just getting so fat in here because of everything else that's in here that I want to separate them out. I want just painted bits in this book. I want the next one I make to have just to have things that I want the pockets to be big enough to have things like I completely lost my train of thought. Like all of my things like this, I take out now. These now have a separate home. So these can come out. These now live in here. All of my sewn strips. Whoops, that's not the one. This one. They all live in a box now. So when I want to use them as washi tape, they're right here on my table. So all of these, and then I go through them every now and then. And things that I haven't used, I can pull out and get rid of. And like this is just bits and pieces of cardstock. I haven't used this stuff in forever. And this is really thick cardstock, this stuff. And if I don't use this, like by, you know, in the next couple of months, it'll go in the trash. There. So that has helped. Just getting those out will help. Oh, here's some more. And I love using these on pages, but I forget they're in here because I pull from this box. Okay, so now I've got those in my box. So over here, my fussy cuts. I want all my fussy cuts in one book. And then I want all of my painted bits in this book. And then I might make another book that has a specific, you know, fussy cut. My Facebook group is going to be making, you know, they make themed journals. So, and you guys have seen me make lots of journals that are floral based. So when I make things like this where I glue things from floral journals, I want to be able to cut these out after I've glued them down and they're dried. I want to be able to put them someplace that I don't lose them. So after these are cut out, I want to be able to put these in one of my books and not lose them. So I'll make one in this book. As you can see, if I make a pocket that's wide enough across here, these would be big enough to sit here, and I could put 2 pockets on a page to hold these. So one would be nothing but things that'll have flowers and things like that in it. And that way I won't lose that stuff. Like I'm always saying, well, I can't find it. That's because I've got it everywhere. Okay, so I think I want to use this page, not that one. I think I want to use this one, because this is going to be the front of the book. That front page, the front page that does the flip out. And I think, do I want to keep it for the back too? I think I want this for the back because it matches that peach. So let's do that. Okay. So we've got these. So let's do this. Let's start this way. So on my table, I have my paper cutter. So I've got this folded in half. So I'm folding it in half. And this is real thin. Now, if your paper was thicker, you would have to score it. Since mine's thin like copy paper, I don't have to score it. But I do want to make sure that it's nice and, you know, and it's down. And this does have like a stamp here, so I'm probably going to cut off the top. I need this to be the height of my book. And I'm going to measure, see where the white comes inside the blue here? That's where I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure this white page. So my white page measures just like any other journal. That's the height of my page that I want. So it is 8 7/8. That's the height of my pages that I want on the inside. I know. You would think I would pick, you know, a number that's easier to measure out. So 8 7/8 is the height, except I also want to measure up, before I cut that, I want to measure up. Okay, I want a pocket on the bottom. Now I need to make sure that I'm going to give myself 8 7/8. So I might not have to cut this. And 7/8. Oh, I'm not going to have to cut this page because I can fold this up right here and fold my pocket all the way across, just like that. So that's my inside pocket. Okay. And I'm going to do this page the exact same way. I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, I'm going to stand up here and make sure that I'm in camera. Yep, I am, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then I want to make sure that my pockets are the same size. Now, let me make sure that my flower's at the bottom. Yeah, I don't mind if I lose my flower. Okay. Nope, I got that turned wrong. Okay, this goes this way. Make sure it's straight. Okay, I've got a paper clip here. Let's put them together. And then I'm going to turn this up. Just like that. Okay. There's my page. Now, I want to take on the outside, and I just want to take off a little teeny tiny sliver from the fold down. And my boys are talking to you. Okay, see, there's my sliver. So when I fold it, oops, make sure I get it folded straight. I might have to take off a little bit more on my sliver. Now let's see here when I fold it back if it's... The neighbor's out with her dog, with his dog Tilly. He raises birds for hunting, so Tilly's out with him feeding the birds. Okay, so there's one. So let's do the same thing on this side. Let's get this folded. Not that he hunts the birds. Tilly is learning to hunt birds. So those are Tilly's training birds. Oops, I missed. They're cute little birds. They're little pigeons. Just like that. Whoops. Did I? No, I didn't do it wrong. Just like that. Yes, I did. Now I've got a diamond shape in the middle. Oh well. And I didn't get it all the way up there. So let's turn it back here. I didn't cut it straight. Hold on here. Let's get it straight. Let's start up here and go out. There we go. I think I got it. Oh my goodness, I went up too high. Okay, well, washi tape to the rescue up there. Oh my goodness. Let me grab some washi here off the table. Okay. You guys knew that was going to happen, didn't you? You knew it. You just knew it. All right, so let's turn this over. And we're going to put washi right down through here. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Silly girl. Where's my thing at? Here it is. Right there. Goofy girl. Right down through the middle. Just like that. And I think I'm going to do 2 strips. Yeah, I might do 3 strips. And let's take it down a little lower here. Goofy girl. Goofy girl, huh? Nothing that can't be fixed. There we go. All right, let's make sure that's down. Okay. Now, let's get that off the table. And we're going to put some on the inside. And I'm going to run some glue right up through there. Now, you could sew these pockets if you wanted, or you can glue them. It's totally up to you, whatever you choose. My sewing machines aren't down, so I'm just going to glue mine. Now, you don't want to come all the way down to where you put your, where you wanted it to be open, because that kind of defeats the purpose of everything you just did. But if you wanted, you could take your washi tape and come all the way up, which, you know what, I think I might do, because, well, that's not going to work. It already dried. I think I will. I think I'll just run a piece just like that, right up through the middle. That way when I sew it in, just like that. There. Okay. Okay. Now, these are going to come up. There. Now, I want to cover the back of these because I don't want them white. So, I am going to choose something to cover them with, and I am going to cover them with book page. Because that's what the backs of the rest of my pages are going to be covered with. So I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to cover these with book page. So I'm just going to pull out a book page here. Let's see if I like that. I don't particularly like that on there. So let's get out another piece of that paper, or maybe something that coordinates on it, or, you know, something like that we liked. Something we can use on both of them. Let's see what we can maybe use on both of them. Let's see the other pages. Let's just hold on a minute then. Because the other pages, let's let that glue dry. The other pages have to be, remember the height that we measured? They have to be that height. They have to be, now what did we just do with the ruler? Here. By 5.5. Okay, so they have to be So, I want to cut the rest of the pages. Let's cut them 9 by 5.5. So, let's pick out our pages here. And we want something that's a little neutral so things show up behind them. You know, we don't want anything real bright. That might work. I think that one might work too. It's kind of muted. I kind of like that page. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. 5. Sorry, I know I keep getting a little too close to you. Try going. Well, that didn't work. There's 6. Seven. Yeah, I'm going to have to come the other way. I'm tearing it that way. There's 8. I wanted another green one. Here we go. Let's try this way. Here's 9. Yeah, I like that one too. And 10. Now, what I'm thinking we're going to have to do here is since I want to attach book pages to them, is maybe attach the book pages first, and after they dry, cut them, or cut them and then attach the book pages. I haven't quite decided the best way to do it yet. I'm going to see how the book pages fit. And I want one more. Okay, I want one more. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay. All right, we're done with this. Let's get that out of the way. Get over there. So, let's see how the book pages fit on the paper before we start cutting the paper. So there's our paper. Okay, we don't need you, but let's see. Now, here's our book. And that's the size that I want to fit. Like that. And then we're going to put the pockets on there. So let's see how two book pages fit on here. Yeah, so I think we're going to glue the book pages on. And let them dry. And then we'll do part 2, or we'll cut them out, and then we'll do part 2. And then we'll come back and put them in. So let's make sure we have these going the right way before we do that. So let's turn them all going the right way. And I have no idea what way that one goes. Before we start gluing. And I don't know what way that one goes either. Maybe that way? I don't know. Okay, so the birds go. You know what? Let's do the birds first, so I don't mess the birds up. Okay, here. So I want more text than anything. Now, if you don't have vellum, you know, and you don't want to go and spend the money for vellum, you can always use those plastic sleeved pages, you know, like we used to use when we were in school. You know, they fit in a binder. You can always use those, and as your pockets, and I'll do a page with one of those and show you how to do that. It's really simple to do. You do it the same way. Now, for materials for gluing this down is you're going to need, of course, your scissors. You're going to need your glue. You're going to need your, here we go. Here we go. You're going to need your bone folder, because we're going to want to make sure that our pages are well adhered to this. And when you add your book page to your cardstock, don't add the next page really close, because we're going to leave a little, when we cut this in half, we're going to leave, sorry, I glued a hair to my finger. Glue it closer to the edge, because we're going to leave a little joint, a little joining area there in the middle. So let's see if I can get another book page here that has more text on it than that. Like this one. Here, let's just tear these two pages out. We'll use these two pages for something else. Either side will work. And if you want to ink, feel free to ink. Your vellum or your plastic isn't going to be added until later. Now, if you want to do any sewing, I recommend that you sew rather than glue. You can always put just a smidgen of glue right in the middle to hold them in place. There, see what I mean? How I left a gap in the middle? Okay. There we go. Now I was going to say I'm going to turn it over and the birds are going to be upside down. It would not surprise me. Okay. So I need to let these dry before I can really do anything, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this flap here. So we're going to measure this, the height out at 9 inches. Okay. So I'm not really going to do anything except measure this. Of course, I need to measure it the right way. So I'm going to measure this out, and we need to make sure that it's straight so that we don't get a hold of our page. Oh, my cutter popped out. Come on, you silly goose. Okay. I think I need a new blade in here. Now, if it's not perfect to your book, there's no need to panic because we can always trim the pages, you know, after we get them all together, you know, to make sure that they're straight. So here's my height. Now, what I'm going to do for my signature is I'm going to fold them like this. Like that. Okay. So I wanted a gap in the middle. So I want that gap, and we're going to save those. I want that gap in the middle. I don't want book page in the middle. And the reason being is when I go to sew these in, it will tear my book pages because my book pages are very old. But you're also not going to see that. Oh, sorry, you're not in shot. I want this gap in the middle because you're not going to see that. When I go to sew them in, I'm going to have so many stacked on top of each other. You're not going to see it. And when I get to the last one, I can put lace or I can put fabric. I can put anything I want over it before I put my my pocket on, or even after I put a pocket on. So I'm not worried about that. And I'm only making one big signature because by the time I add all the ephemera to it, it's going to get chunky. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to be rounding my corners. So, but I need to let this dry. This that I just created is going to be sitting in the front of the book. It's going to be covering the front of the book. Now let me show you how it's going to sit. Now that my glue's dried here, I can show you. Let me get it squished down here. Okay, so I still need to cover my pockets. Okay, I still need to take care of those, but it's going to sit like this. So when I open my book, so my edge needs trimmed because see, I'm sticking out of my book. So my edge needs trimmed. So I need to pull this in and I need to mark where I need to trim it. So I need to take my pencil. Let me grab it here. Oh my goodness, I moved it out of the way. So I need to take my pencil and I need to move and I need to mark. Let me do it on this side where it's not so chunky. There. And I need to mark. Let's see, where's the book bend? right there. Right here is where I need to cut my paper. And I need to cut it right on that line. Okay, so I need to make sure this is straight. Now, here's my ruler. So I want to put my ruler okay. Now, I want to get this. And I want to line it up. And it's okay if it's in a little bit further than what my... Okay, I need to turn it this way. Come on, straighten up here so I can see you. There we go. But you do need to be straight, you little varmint. Okay, there's one. And I don't think that's straight. I don't think you're straight, but I want both sides to be the same. Since you're going to fold. Okay, I don't need that. Now this will sit in the back of my book. Actually, it's going to sit this way. And it will open this way. And I'll have a pocket here and a pocket here that will open. Okay? And I can have bigger pieces sit here, like some of those strips that I showed you. And then I can close it back up like this. Or I can just have bigger pieces of ephemera that I've made in here. And I'm going to have one of these on both sides of my book. I'm going to have that one. And then I'm going to have this one over here. And this one also needs trimmed. And then I'm going to have this one over here. Sitting like this. So my book is going to extend out like this. So when I open it, it's going to be a big book. And then when I close it, I'm going to have my signatures in the middle. And after I make them, if it looks like I need more, I can add more. You know, 12 signatures, 12 pages is not very many for this, because I would normally add 3 signatures and each signature would have 12 pages in it. I would normally be adding 36 folded pages and I'm only adding 12. So, you know, that's not very many in here. So if I need to add more, I most certainly will, because I don't want this to be, you know, loopy-floopy. So let's continue gluing our pages down so that they can dry. And then we'll keep going on like this to allow them to continue drying, and then we can cut them. So we want book pages, or I do. What you choose is up to you. I want book pages that have, all right, I want to tear this off. And I think I'm going to try and tear this off here, because this is getting kind of thick. I want pages that have a lot of text on them. So I want that one. That one. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. Actually, I might use that for a different project. don't need that one, but I'll use it some other time. Okay. So there's for 3 pages. Yeah, I might use this for a different project too that my Facebook group is going to be working on. Okay. There's 4, 5. Okay, this is going to be 6. 7. Oh boy, I see some tags coming out of this. Okay, I think I'm just about ready here. I think I've got them all. All right, so let's glue down. Okay. So I hope you guys create one with me, or you at least have some fun playing in your journals. It's always lots of fun. And that you guys had a great weekend. What have you guys been up to? I've been working in my greenhouse, getting what are the colder plants out in the garden. You know, the ones that can handle the cold weather, the lettuce and the broccoli's out, and a couple of types of lettuce are out. And, you know, things like that are out in the garden. The strawberries are getting ready to bloom, and the asparagus is up. We had our very first cutting of asparagus. That was a new experience. I've never had asparagus straight from the garden before. That was interesting. And it doesn't taste anything like, you know, asparagus that you have cooked, or, you know, that you buy any other way. It really tastes completely different. It's a subtle, sweet taste. But I did find out that where I have it planted, it's going to outgrow that probably within the next year or so. So I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to put this silly stuff. There we go. Okay, there's that one. We're going to let that sit over there and dry. Oops, get up there. So if any of you have ever grown asparagus, let me know how you like it and where you think that, you know, where you've grown it. Do you have it in a big pot or a grow bag? Did you just plant it in the ground? And do you have bunny rabbits that eat it? I have a bunny rabbit that, she thinks she's queen of my garden. Between the bunny rabbits and the, what are they called? Chipmunks. They think they're in charge of my garden. We actually have a little chippy that, wherever I plant tomatoes, it's where he decides to have his babies. Or she decides, I guess. I don't know how they have babies, but I guess they have babies like every other animal. But they have babies in that bed, and then they they crawl up in that bed the entire summer. They crawl through the bed, and you'll see them crawl up, and they pick the tomatoes off of the vine. I guess that's the way that page goes. And last year we caught them on videotape on a night camera. That little stinker. Because I wasn't sure if it was a mole or a vole or what it was. So we, our neighbor who's a hunter, loaned us his nighttime camera, and we set it up, and there he was, just popping out. And he reached up and he grabbed it. He grabbed one of my little cherry tomatoes and he shoved it in his little cheek, and off he went. It's like, oh, if that wasn't so cute and annoying, I would think it's just sweet as could be. But it was quite annoying. It was more annoying than cute. It's like, oh, man. And he's been doing it now for 3 years. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the right way. I think that's the way that paper goes. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this on all 12 pages. And when I come back to see you in part 2 of this video, I'm going to have everything cut. And I glued my finger down. And we will be ready to add all of our pages in. And you guys have all seen me, do 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So you know how that works. But I'll have everything cut and everything sewn in. And I'll show you how to add the pockets to it. And I think I want to add the pockets before I sew everything in. But I want these pages to dry before I do that. Okay, it goes that way. Before I add the vellum pockets to it. And I want to have everything nice and flat. So as these pages dry, I'm going to put them under some heavy books to make sure that they're dry. And then I'll show you how to get the vellum pockets glued in. And I'll also show you how to use the plastic sleeves. If that's what you decide to use instead of vellum, I'll show you how to do that. So, if you've enjoyed the videos and you're interested in learning more, please hit like. And if you'd like to get information or notification that more videos are coming out, hit that subscribe button. Oops. Well, I glued down the wrong side, you guys. Hit that subscribe button, and you'll get a notification every time a new video comes out. There we go. And you know where it is. It's right there. It says subscribe. And you know how to like a video. It's that little thumb. It's there on all the videos that every YouTuber puts out. All you have to do is hit it. And we appreciate it so much. More in a comment, a nice comment. I appreciate those comments, even if it's just a little heart. You guys just don't know how much that just makes me so happy that somebody has taken the time to do that, because then I know that you've watched it. And I get notified of how many views. And I have a video that has over 2,000 views. And not one comment on it. And but I know there's over 2,000 views on it. And it was like, oh well, okay. So if you could take the time to leave me a comment, even if it's a heart, I would appreciate it. That just makes my heart sing. And thank you for spending time with me today here in the craft room. And I look forward to seeing you again in part 2 of our video, where we continue putting our book together. And until I see you again, ta-ta for now.